My name is Gavin Evans, and this is another episode of We Review. And this time, I'm going to re-review The Sixth Sense. Now, if you haven't seen The Sixth Sense, this will be a spoiler review. So go and watch the movies and come back and watch my re-review because I will be going in depth. And the first time I saw this movie, just like everyone else, I was just blown away by that twist. What? Bruce Willis is dead this entire movie? I think I heard about this twist existing somewhere, and I start to have my suspicions by the fact that he got shot at the very beginning. But I wasn't expecting that to be the actual ending of this movie, and I was just blown away by it. I was just like, that's brilliant. So then I watched this movie again, and just watching it a second time, you're just looking for all the clues. Okay, like when he's talking to his wife. Oh, she didn't say anything to him. I thought for sure she did, but no. She didn't. And then you just notice that nobody else is talking to him, that nobody else sees him. And you start to pick up on all these things, and that makes the twist all the more impressive. So, anyways, I just watched this movie for the third time, and that's when it hit me that this movie is a 2-time watch. And what do I mean by that? Well, pretty much exactly what I just said. The first time, you get the shock of the twist. Whoa, wow, that was really incredible stuff. And then you watch it again and you look for the clues throughout. But on the third watch, I just realized that there wasn't much else for me to watch this movie for. I feel like I've already gotten everything that I could get out of this movie already. I no longer have the shock of the twist, and I'm no longer impressed by how planned out it was and how they integrated that twist within the movie throughout. And now I just watched the movie, and I'm just kind of left empty towards it. Like, I used to love this movie, but on this rewatch, I was just like, oh, okay, it's decent, it's good, but I didn't love it anymore. Now that you aren't looking and analyzing this movie as much as you were the first or the second time of this movie, you start to realize just how slow this movie actually is and just how little happens on a narrative level. Now, that doesn't take away from the incredible performances this movie has. So Bruce Willis is really good in this movie, but Haley Joel Osment is the standout. He really sells you on the terror that this kid is facing and how he's coping with it, and I really do think his performance is great. And Toni Collette, for the majority of the movie, she's alright, but there's a scene near the end where Haley Joel Osment is telling her about her mom, and she just starts breaking down in tears, and it's a really powerfully acted moment. It's well directed enough. There is a few decent moments, like that scene where Haley Joel Osment is at that party and the kids trick him into going into that cabinet. That's a really effective moment. But I do find the other ghost moments in this movie, like any sort of atmosphere, like any sort of tension, I don't really find this movie to be scary. I believe it's marked down as a drama and a horror. And drama I can definitely get behind, but horror, I don't know. Like, I just don't really find this movie to be scary. Like, there's a couple moments that you could argue, but I just wish this movie had more atmosphere. I just wish that M. Night approached this movie more from a horror standpoint. Because I really do feel like that entire aspect is missing from this movie. There's a couple moments where it reminds you and where it makes its case for being a horror movie, but there's just not enough of those moments. And when the entire movie is focused around the dead and this kid talking to the dead, I just wish that they did more with that. Now, the twist is still absolutely iconic, but I was watching this movie with my brother who's never seen it before, who didn't have a clue on what the twist was, which I don't know how he avoided it for as long as he did. But he told me by the end that he was starting to suspect it. And now I watch this movie and I'm just like, did I really not see this coming the first time I watched it? Like, if I watched this movie for the first time at my age now, at 25, I think I would have predicted it, to be honest. And you're just like, yeah, like, it's still a good twist that recontextualizes the entire movie. But besides that, Like, you do got this kid who's having a hard time with his ability, but there's still not a lot that happens on a narrative level. You know, I kind of wish this movie had more emotion and more tale throughout. You can see an amazing movie here, and for lots of people, that is this movie. But for me, it just needs more tale, it needs more emotion, and it needs a bit more going on because it just doesn't grab me like it once did. Like I said, it's a two-time watch. I loved this movie the first time I watched it. The second time, I was just looking at how well the twist holds up, and it did. And now I watched it for the third time, and I might watch it for a fourth time again in my lifetime, but I don't see it going past that. It's a movie that has done its job for me. I enjoyed it for what it was, but now I've moved on past it. So, anyways, my original rating of The Sixth Sense was a 9 out of 10, but now I would give The Sixth Sense a 6.5 out of 10. I know that's going to be a controversial rating, but if I'm being honest, this movie doesn't do as much for me now as it once did, and I did find it a little more boring this time. But anyways, have you seen The Sixth Sense? I imagine so. What did you think about it? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe. Stay tuned for some more videos soon, and Gavin out.